This is a video on how to remove the radio from a 2003 Honda Civic. As best as I know, this also works from 2001 through 2005. I'm not totally positive on that, so you should do some further research to make sure everything included in this video works onto your car, but the basic principles should be the same. So since you're doing a radio, the first thing you should do is disconnect the battery, prevent any damage to the components or injury to the person working on it or somebody else who happens to be around. The first thing that I like to do is to take off these knobs. They're going to have to come off later, but it's a little bit easier to get them off now, so you have a lot more leverage since the radio is still in the dash. And the next thing, we're going to take out this little panel down here. Get my screwdriver, and you're just going to get that back there and pull it out a little bit. This is a lot easier to come out if you remove this whole center console piece, but I'm not really interested in doing that. You can finagle it out, just requires a little bit of pulling on there. So, and you want to disconnect this here. Try to do this with one hand. There's a little bit of pain in the ass. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that off, and I'll come back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. I didn't get it off yet. I'm going to just show you how to get it off. There's just a tab that you press right there. And again, if you're doing this two hands, a lot easier just to press on the tab and pull away. To get the first step in loosening up the radio is two 8mm screws that are underneath there. There's one right in the center there, and then one over here on the right side. If you have a stubby Phillips head screwdriver, you can get it out. I don't have one with me right now, so I'm just going to use the 8mm unratchet. Drop that down there. I'll have to go fish that out later on. The one's over here on the right. And I'm going to just use the socket to get this out and spin it out by hand using the socket instead of trying to twist it out with my fingers. Try not to drop this one, which I did not drop this one. Okay, so it is now loose from the dash, and you just need to kind of pry it out a little bit with a flathead screwdriver or a door panel tool, if you're familiar with one of those. So it's got a couple of clips, and then from here you can just pry with your hands. And you're just going to want to pull it back out. Sorry for being so jumpy there. There are 5 connectors. You get 2 here, one up here for the hazard, antenna and radio connector. Then down on the bottom here there is one for some of the other climate functions other than the ones that are over on the left. So be for those there. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off and then see what we're looking at. Okay, so the 5 connectors that are on this whole unit are off, and we need to remove the automatic climate control unit. There are 3 screws that hold it in, and only 3 screws. Once you get those off, it just falls right off pretty much. I have taken off 1 and 2, and I'm going to remove this 3rd screw over here. Getting myself in the way. That screw off, and yeah, this unit just comes right off like that. Set it to the side someplace. If you're just going to replace the radio, all you really need to do is take off these two screws on this side and then the two that are on the other side, and it'll slide right out the front and you can put the new one right back in. But I am going to be installing a Kenwood on this. So I'm going to be removing this whole piece, and to do that is 2 screws here and 2 on the other side over there. And but yeah, go back to just if the radio, you know, the 2 screws on each side for that, slide the new one in, screw it back in, and then just do the reverse of the whole procedure from before. But I'm going to continue on and put in this Kenwood that I have back here, and going to show a little bit of that.